So with the release of AGL Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku and the new INT Fat Boo, it is time for a top 10 Dokkanfest TUR tier list. I do love making these. These are very fun, just to give my ideas on how good I think all these characters are, how they compare to each other, and if anything's changed based on new content release and things like that, right? I think is also very important. Now, we're going to get more stages for the Majin Buu Saga Red Zone that's upcoming, right? And I do think that Red Zone seems like it's going to be quite difficult. I mean, stage 2 already. Super Buu has an AoE super that's hitting for 1.5 mil, and then, as each turn passes, it hits harder and harder. So very interesting. We'll see what the final stages are going to be looking like, but I could see it even being 9th anniversary level of power. So that's going to be very exciting to see how that turns out. But again, these characters are very good and they deserve to be on the list. So that's why we are making the update. I am going to go a little quickly through the other characters that haven't really changed. If you want more in depth, I think that, I guess I'll go a little bit in depth, but the previous video does, explain a lot of this tier list, I think, in a full depth. But I'm still going to cover the very important basics here. So at my number 10 spot, I do have AGL Android 21. Now, this is a character that came out right before the anniversary, pretty much, but I still think that she's able to really cook well post 9th anniversary. I think, her leader skill, in fact, technically got better with the addition of INT Fat Buu. He is a nice little addition to this team. We're going to get Tech Exchange Buu ZZA, right? So her team's going to get even better. The Majin Power team could be quite powerful. Easy transformation condition. Because there's no more AoEs, at least in the 9th anniversary meta, she does not have to worry about the fact that she only gets the high chance to dodge after she attacks. Specifically, Transform 21 is absurd defensively, right? She has a 21% reduction, but she's able to quite easily reach over 2 mil level of defense with the 21% reduction. I've seen situations where this 21 has eaten, like, let's say, the Gogeta fight, right? The Gogeta Blue Supreme Battle Spectacle, there's a tech phase, right before the end. I've seen turns where this 21 eats that super for double digits. She's really good. She's just crazy HP regener. She also does have a nullification active skill, which, a lot of these bosses have super high chances to super attack now. So her being able to just nullify the first enemy action in the turn with this up, and it's again going to be quite easy to get that, because if you transform in turn 5, then you could use the active in turn 7, and that's not really a difficult condition to me at all. It's a fairly easy condition now. So her being able to disable that action is just super good. She becomes super effective. I think this could have been crits. Now at this point, the super effective doesn't really do that much, but I think 21 is pretty good overall. Just a nice little solid character. And yeah, it is crazy that 21 is at 10 on this list now, but again, I think this year we've gotten a lot of very strong Dokkan Festival TURs. That's very, very nice to see. So at my number 9 spot, we do have First Form Frieza. Now, I think you could very easily argue First Form Frieza to be higher on the list, depending on your thing. I think Frieza, again, once he gets that set up, this guy could be like 6 even, or something like that. Like, he can move up a lot on the list. It just as a general mark. Again, Space Traveling Warriors and Terrifying Conquerors, this is not good. Like, who are you running here? We have Angel Frieza, Rebrand Kakunsa, we have Physical Rebrand, right, who's not even on the team, so that's funny. Like, yeah, why is Physical Rebrand not on here, actually? I guess because she's not. Yeah, what, actually, why is Physical Rebrand? Oh no, she's right here. Sorry, I'm blind. But like, those two characters don't even work well with this Frieza at all, right? He also does want Terrifying Conquerors, so pretty much you want like a mix of both of those teams. Ginyu was on this team, but he wants to be full special pose, so he doesn't help this Frieza at all. King Vegeta doesn't really help this Frieza. I mean, this Frieza, his team is just not it. Like, no, I'm sorry, y'all. His team is just not there. It's not there. Frieza could look so absurdly powerful. Like, offensively, he's just insane. He's pretty much guaranteed critting in a lot of situations. And, if you're against a pure Saiyan enemy, man, this guy is doing actually just absurd attack stats. And his active skill could hit so hard. It also has a disable enemy action within the turn. I still would say overall, I feel like I like him better than 21. Even though 21 is in a slightly better spot, I think Frieza just as his design, he's just so good. He also greatly lowers attack, which is very helpful for, let's say, the Blue Gogeta Spoon Battle Spectacle and some other fights potentially like the Cell Max fight. He's also AGL. AGL I think is a very good typing right now, which is, you know, you could argue why 21 is even up here as well. But this guy being AGL typing, right, very good. He has very high potential to just like one shot or one turn these phases. It's just that, you know, his team just doesn't. It's not there. If he had like a relatively like even just a decent team, like, you know, he'd be cooking. But his team sucks. His team's really bad. I don't know. That's it. That's that. Poor Frieza. He could be a lot higher on this list because he is, again, I think in terms of pure power in a vacuum, he's on the level of these like post 9th anniversary TURs. But you know, it is what it is. So next on my list, we do have the Physical God Goku. I think Physical God Goku has aged very gracefully. He's not crazy anymore. I would say, again, Frieza in a vacuum is a stronger character. I just think that this guy, you know, 6 orbs, very easy to get, 60% chance dodge, stacking, guarding still, so he's like not going to get instantly one-shot by a lot of these bosses. Billions of teams, just like all these teams. Crazy good leader skill, or not leader skill, well, even his leader skill is pretty decent still, but like crazy good link set is just really awesome. Super Saiyan Goku you're pretty much never going to see anymore, so I don't really count him. It's really the God Goku portion of the card that's very good. I guess there's situations where you're going to get past turn 6 in a majority of these fights, and then he's not really going to be doing good damage at all. He's going to be doing very bad damage, but I mean, you guys know, well, at least know, I feel like no matter what, you could think offense is better than defense, right? You know, at the end of the day, I don't care. I personally think defense is better, but I think we could all agree that defense does age better than offensive abilities. That's just true. That's just how it is. Defensive abilities usually tend to age better than offensive abilities in this game. With that in mind, this guy is still 60% chance to just take 0 damage. Not really getting one shot even with his guard up, especially, you know, he's able to stack a lot more throughout these events that are longer. This guy was able to outage, I think, a good chunk of the characters around him, which is really nice to see. So that is God Goku. Next we have another character I think who's aged very well, Gamma 1. Now again, just to explain, I think a lot of y'all are, you know, especially if you don't play GP, you're just like, why is Gamma 1 here? I think there's a lot of reasons why I actually am putting Gamma 1 in this spot. I mean, I did a showcase video for Gamma 1, but he essentially got new skill orbs during the anniversary, right? Which I think is very important. Let me see, can I find, where are they? Equipment right here. We could do it for specifically the cards, and then I think, yeah, here he is, Gamma 1 right here. This guy gets 800 defense right here. He gets an additional 400 defense, so that's 1200. Then I also have a other defensive equip on him, like a gold dodge equip. He's getting tons of defense from these equips. Then we got a 6 out of 7 like basically linking partner with this guy that is a 50% support and one of the best characters in the game in the LR Gamma 1 and 2. I mean, again, we take a look here, 6 links right there providing 50% support. I mean, on turns like this, if you have this guy in slot 1, Gamma 1, or even this guy in slot 1, Gamma 1 is also getting another 50% defense on super, and then Gamma 1 is like 1.5 mil defense sometimes with his 50% reduction. It's crazy. That's how high he gets. Like, I'm not even joking. Go, literally, I do really urge you guys to see that video that I made with Gamma 1, because I think people don't understand how good Gamma 1 is right now, actually, how good he can be in this difficult content. Now, he's not invincible, for sure, right? You know, there are setups that you need to run specifically for him to look that good. I think Gohan and Krillin, or not Gohan and Krillin and AT, right? It's a character I had on the team, I believe, right? But most of these, just these two being ran together, and it looks really crazy. This guy's also supporting. He has a unarmed super attack counter, which is, again, really good for Beast Gohan. Not on a lot of teams, but I think his performance is just actually so really good. It's actually kind of crazy. And he's guarding for the first 4 turns. I think in some fights, like let's say Cell Max, or if we get other fights that are shorter but really strong at the start, this guy is not going to look that great because he does need to receive 5 hits. But in these longer fights where he's able to do that very comfortably, Gamma 1 just is crazy. Really good character. I think it's Gamma 1. Amazing design. Amazing design. And again, most of it is, again, his help from the LR Gamma 1, but you know, like you're gonna with how you build your rotations, you're not running Gamma 1 without the LR anyways at this point, right? So that's a thing. Next we have Hirudegarn. Hirudegarn doesn't make number 6 on this list. Now Hirudegarn, I think a lot of global players do have experience with this guy at this point, right? He is officially out on global and has been for about a month. I think his banner is still up on global as well. This character is a very big dodge character. I think he's solid as a dodge character. I think pre 9th anniversary, this guy was crazy. Post 9th anniversary, he's still really good, but his base form, again, at this point, I would say is arguably weak. Like, I think once he stacks up for a few turns, you could look decent, but you really want to get this perfect form Hirudegarn out so that you get the chance to get the guaranteed dodge. That's huge, right? Again, when he dodges 3 times in a turn, the next turn he guaranteed dodges, which is an insane defensive ability for a slot 1 character. It's very good, very good. Now, though, you do got to keep in mind this guy could be dodge or die in a lot of situations, right? Again, especially if you're not in the luxury of sacking with this guy. That's the biggest issue, but I mean, him having a very good chance of getting guaranteed dodge because he has 70% dodge baseline, then he will build up a separate 10% chance dodge with each dodge he does. So he has a lot of dodge there. And he does some pretty decent damage as well. I mean, he has a... Where's the crit chance here? Yeah, high chance to crit as the first attacker on the turn, and he's doing like 14, 15 mil attack stats, right? In some situations, I even seen this guy doing like 17 mil attack stats. So, he is pretty good in the damage department, I think, once he's transformed for sure. So this Hirudegarn is pretty good, I think, still. I would still say, though, Dragon Fist Goku, I think, is just gonna age out a little bit ahead of him. And I think it's just because with this guy, he's saying a lot more easy to use him. I think he's less risky, honestly, than Hirudegarn. Hirudegarn is, again, a character you really want to run in slot 1. Slot 1 is the danger slot, right, where a lot of the times the super attack is going to be. But this guy, again, safely sits slot 2 or 3 with 70% dodge. He's able to get all of his stats on super. If you get the standby skill, this guy has the guaranteed counter against any super attacks. And most characters in the game do not have a way to combat these super attacks. Like, a lot of times they take 500k damage or they die or something like that. But this guy has the straight up counter and he'll do damage and he guaranteed dodge for the rest of the turn. In the standby skill, he's supporting. He has a scouter. Really good. And then again, even the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he's decent. And if you fall under 50% HP at the start of turn or 59%, he gets a pretty good attack boost and he'll guarantee crit. So he'll be doing like a 18 mil attack stat with a guarantee crit. That's pretty good, I think, for this guy just being like a sitting slot 2 or 3, like, you know, 70% dodge character. Again, even he, like in his base form, is nothing really too great. But the big thing about this guy is having this mechanic that's really huge. And I think that in terms of comparing him to Hirudegarn, I think he's just a safer option overall than compared to Hirudegarn. And he's just going to be on better teams. So that is that. Next we have Physical Toppo. I think, again, he's a character that Global doesn't have. I think Physical Toppo, I would not put him higher than 4 personally. I think he sits pretty comfortably at this 4 spot. He got a lot of help with the Special Post team. I mean, take a look at the Special Post team and look at how many buffs we got. We got the Earlier really huge. We got this Gotenks EZA, really huge. We got Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks EZA, which is, again, good. INT Gotenks got his EZA. Physical Ribrianne got our EZA, which is insane. And then, obviously, we have the LR Ribrianne Trio. You can even run a rotation of the LR Gammas and then Gamma 1. Toppo himself, right? We got Toppo Pride Troopers, another really strong character here on this team. And I think I mentioned him, but LR Ginyu, icing on the cake, right? A very good special pose category support character. So overall, I think Toppo's team looks fantastic. I think that Toppo is just really good. There's not much really to say. I feel like what I would change for this guy is I would make his defense a little better. I mean, first things first, he gets the 50% defense after receiving an attack. I don't think that should have been a thing. I think it should have been when receiving an attack, and honestly, they could have probably made this 100%. And I think that would have been okay. I think that would have been okay. Like 100% defense. Just a little bit of extra defense, I think, would go wonders for this guy. Because there's situations where, again, he's like living, but just like living with 500k damage that he takes, right? In his base form, anyways. One is transformed to God of Destruction. I think he's fine. Use the active skill is guaranteed critting for the rest of the battle. Does some pretty decent damage. I feel like maybe his reduction should have been no more than minus 40%, and then let him keep 40% reduction. In my opinion, not the biggest change ever. 20% reduction still fine, but I've seen situations where this guy is still taking damage from Blue Gogeta's normals later on. However, again, these first attacks end up being aimed at him since he has his full 80% reduction. Guess what? He's not taking any damage. He's also, again, still guaranteed guarding, so pretty good. I think that this God Toppo is just good overall, right? Nice little disco. I mean, even tournament participants, you have a lot of characters you could pull from here. UI Goku, Blue Evolution Vegeta, Blue Falcon Goku Vegeta, SDR UI. I guess, in the future we'll get SDR Kefla ZZ and JP, right? She'll be a good character to pull from here. So, not bad at all. I think Toppo is quite powerful. I think... Okay, so we'll put Vegeta here. Vegeta is number 2 for me. Or number 3 for me. I think Vegeta, again, before he was in a 1-2 war, I actually, again, do think that Buu and Goku are both better than Vegeta. I feel like, Vegeta is just so good. I just don't know, like, okay. I think the fault with this guy could be maybe aging, but it's not really an issue with this guy right now. Like, he has no issues. I guess maybe you could say his leader skill could be better. Sure. But, like, in terms of his kit, I don't see the issues with this guy at all. It's just that Goku and Buu just feel better to me. I guess, maybe you could argue, like, they're more, I wouldn't say consistent, but I guess it's the word where, like, when Vegeta is Super Saiyan, right, he has, like, these varying numbers. He's doing different kinds of things based on the HP level of the enemy, based on your HP level. Whereas Goku and Buu don't necessarily have that more, so I think Buu than Goku, but that's really it, I guess. Another thing is that those characters, like, this guy is on very little setups, while like Goku and Buu, like especially Goku, is on a billion extra setups, and they're around the same power, so it's things like that where I think it matters. Like, let's say, I think the top 3 are grouped in together. I would say Toppo. It's like the top 3, Toppo in his own tier, and I think the rest there. I don't think I would say these 2 are better than Toppo. I think Toppo is pretty safe, right? They're pretty locked in at number 4. Toppo's like the guard, right? He's the guard. Toppo's like, again, the test. If you could get past Toppo, you're in the top 3, basically, right? At least from here, and I don't see myself moving Toppo down. He's pretty rock steady here at this 4 spot. I think you could to argue the top 3 either way. So I have Super Saiyan 3 Goku at 2. Then I have Buu at 1. And this is, the big reveal everyone's waiting for. Whoa, no way. I think you could argue Super Saiyan 3 Goku is 1. I think you could argue Buu is 1. I think you could argue Vegeta's 1. I think they're all in the same tier. They're all on the same level together. Goku is just dumb. He's a dumb character, right? Does really good damage. Put him in slot 2 or 3. And he has 90% reduction, just turn 1. He's doing like multiple 10 to 14 mil attack stats depending on your dupe levels, right? He has the additional with a great chance. He has the guaranteed additional super attack as a second or third attacker, gets the extra attack buff. You do need a Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking the same turn, but I've actually found that to be less of an issue right now. Now, when it comes to this guy aging, we'll talk that's like a separate thing. But I think this guy right now, he's able to just very easily get that Buu Saga condition, and we're going to get more Buu Saga characters here, so that's really good. I could see Super Saiyan 2 Goku, the INT Angel Super Saiyan 2 Goku, easy. I could see Tech Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta get an easy hit. This guy also has like 80% crit chance, so I just like, this is a character who works really well without dupes, right? He has 80% crit chance, but then he could do multiple super attacks already. High chance of stun, pretty decent little super attack effect there. Now, I would say once he does have to get to a point where he relies on just a 30% reduction, and you know, maybe sometimes the guard in the first slot, I would say his defense doesn't necessarily suffice what I would like to see. Not that I'm saying it's gonna be bad, but I just feel like, you know, his defense in certain situations may not suffice, but it's extremely rare situations, I feel like, that, you know, is almost not really even worth mentioning. Also, very easy active skill, turn 4 with a Busaga ally, guarantee crits within a turn. So like, I guess the idea for this is you wait until Goku runs out of his passive reduction, then use the active skill or passive reduction at the crit, then use his active skill. He's getting guaranteed crits, does some extra damage, and he's able to, you know, potentially sit in slot 1 with the guard as well, because he'll get this 150% attack and defense on super that'll activate, you know, when you use the active skill. So that's not for Goku. I think also a pretty nice leader skill, right? Accelerated Battle Majin Busaga works really well together, I found. Goku's good. Goku's very, very good. Very, very, very good. Boo, I couldn't find the wiki page for him. I think Boo's stupid. Boo is just dumb, right? I mean, like, he's dumb. He's healing you so much HP. He's stacking defense permanently. He gets up to 2 additional super attacks, right? He has the great chance right here. He has a guaranteed additional super when you pop the revive. So, like, he has a revive there, which is really good. He's guarding. Then, after revive or from the 7th turn, this guy has a Ghost Usher. And then he changes all keys versus cookies, so he just heals you. Yeah, and turn 7 is very easy. I think it's really the Ghost Usher, I think, that makes it out to me. Again, I think you can put Goku but Boo, but I feel like, you know, I've seen Boo in situations where by 55% Boo, who's starting to turn off at 1.4 mil defense, right? I think that was the Gogeta Blue fight. And it's like, okay, sure. But then you realize he's 55%. And then you realize he gets the 150% defense on super, which is multiplicative, by the way, against whatever defense that you see. So he's actually closer to like 3.5 mil defense in that turn once he supers, which is insane, right? This Fat Boo is like actually one of the best villain character releases in the game. My only issue with this guy is, I think this. I don't like this because this makes it harder for you to get the boos. Like, if you're running double Boo, you get this off, and then it just makes it so much harder. Because then you want to get under 50% to lose the guard to revive, but that just won't happen if this guy's just healing you so much, right? I think that's the only dumb thing I personally found that was not really needed, but because this guy already heals so much, but still pretty cool. Pretty good overall. Yeah, again, I've used them in a lot of this stuff for content, same as Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I feel very confident. I think I like Boo better. But if you're going to say Goku's better, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care. Do what you want. I would say I think Boo's better, though, right now. It's not too far off, though, and then Vegeta's, like, right behind them, so that's it. That's it. Again, I wanted to make things a little shorter. Usually these videos could last, like, 30, 40 minutes, but yeah, we're at 23 minutes. That's good enough for me. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have, but that is 10 characters here. I guess nominees, Rose. Like, I haven't used Rose really much. I used them once. Would he fit this list? Is Rose better than 21? He might not fit this list. I mean, no, I don't think he fits this. I don't think he's better than 21, but we'll see. We'll see when I use him. Go on, Piccolo, decent. Androids, decent. Super Trunks, decent-ish. And, you know, but decent, closer to bad, but, you know, copium, whatever. I'm Andy here. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.